As we concluded Volume 1, Founders and Fables, England was a story being actively written, a patchwork of kingdoms stitched into something larger by ambition, belief, and a few exceptional rulers. Alfred the Great, Ethelfled, Ethelstan. They fought for more than land. They fought for the idea that England, so to speak, could exist. When Edgar the Peaceable came to the throne in 959, he would offer England the simple gift of calm. No major invasions or civil wars, just a king who ruled with enough authority and presence to keep England in one piece. But kingdoms break, slip, and die young. When Edgar died relatively young, everything fell open. His sons, Edward and Ethelred, would each be crowned one after the other. One was murdered. One ruled for decades in chaos. Around them, warring factions rose, families schemed, and into this power vacuum came the Vikings as kings in waiting. The Vikings are the most obvious focal point of this chapter in our story, but this volume isn't only about foreign invaders. It's just as much about a kingdom that made itself vulnerable from the inside. In an age without firm rules of succession, legitimacy was as much about allegiance as it was about blood, and the crown became a coveted yet dangerous object. Kings were crowned in youth and also frequently died in their youth, unexpectedly and occasionally under murky circumstances. Through one succession after another, we'll see a repeated pattern of how vague succession rules created ambiguity about who was the rightful king, weakening the kingdom internally. So before long, others came from the outside to take their place. The Viking conqueror Svein Forkbeard set his eyes on England as the latest addition to his list of kingdoms. He succeeded and lasted about 5 weeks on the throne. But it wasn't all in vain for Svein. His son Knut would soon sit on the throne of England and make it work for a longer time. By the end of this volume, the crown will rest again on native brows, but it won't be the same crown. Not after everything it passed through, and not with the Normans watching from across the sea. Volume 2, The Viking Invasion, is, to be certain, the story of conquest, but it's also the story of what happens after the conquest, when the question isn't just who will rule, but whether a stable rule can exist at all. And so, in our first episode of Volume 2, we'll meet Edgar the Peaceable, a king who made as good an effort as any for stability, and achieved it for a time. But his death will soon show us just how fragile this young England still remains.